Hey folks, it's Dr. Brenda, founder of the Gutsy Women Club and Gutsy Women Finances Community, sociologist, financial coach, full-time RVer, coming at you from the road. South Padre Island in Texas for the winter. And guess what? Hey, if you don't subscribe, please do so. Please hit that button below if you already subscribed. Thank you so much. What a day it has been this morning. I rolled back into the park after running a little errand, and I had fire trucks behind me and all kinds of sirens going on, pulled over toward my street, and the grasses were on fire. Whew. Well, it is windy. I hope you can hear me okay, because the RV is kind of rocking and rolling today. And apparently what happened is a palm frond fell on top of the electrical wire, and there was some type of arching, and the grasses underneath that electrical line lit up, started on fire. So yep, it's all settled in, it's all okay now. I was out of power for several hours, but everything is back and working now. So whew, you know, you get used to stuff, and then all of a sudden you just realize, wow, you know, anything can happen at any time. You gotta be prepared. Just coincidentally, I just did the video about what's in my go-to bag, and it's like, oh, I don't need a go bag right now, do I? Anyway, be careful what you talk about. All right, today I want to talk about jury service because, oh, yep, I got one of these guys in the mail. So my RV mail is in Florida, actually in Okaloosa County in Crestview, Florida. I use my RV mail as my mailing address. And so, yep, I had this scanned and then had it sent to me. So here it is. All right, so I received this in early part of January, and I was told, this is a jury summons, I was told to report the week of January 24th, okay? So I had like 3 weeks plus to get to Florida and make sure that I could be there, called for jury service, right? Well, not gonna work. I'm here until March. But this is where one of the pluses of planning is that I can plan my destinations ahead of time. So, okay, so before I jump into what I did, let me talk a little bit about the procedure. So, and I'm going to even back up, because my previous career, I worked in the justice system. I primarily focused on court reform, worked with the state courts throughout the country. I take my civic duty very seriously. I have designated Florida as my domicile, and that means I have some responsibilities to Florida as well, including serving on jury duty. So it's really a matter here of timing. All right, so the first thing that this letter tells me to do is to go online. So I went online to their form, and I put in some preliminary information, my number, my candidate ID, and who I was, and then the system told me it was sending me an email to confirm that email. I never received the email. So I looked, I've got a Gmail, it's not in social, it's not in promotions, it's not in primary, there is no email. So the next day, they've got a number on here to call with an extension, so I called that, and I got a voicemail box, left a very detailed message, and I heard nothing back. I didn't receive an email, I didn't receive a phone call, so I waited until the following week, went online, and there's a contact us form there. So there I explained that, you know, I was trying to reach somebody from who's managing the jury duty component, and you know, this is my information. So I got an email back pretty quickly from a clerk in the circuit court, and they had told me that they had sent emails. They're not in any of my inboxes. It's okay, I didn't receive those. I did receive this one though. And what they did is, so I had asked for a delay, and generally, now you're gonna have to check out whichever state is your domicile. Florida, you can serve in a jury every 12 months, and it's typically you've got 1 day to serve. I mean, if they pick you for a jury, you may have more days, but if it generally it's a 1 day type of thing. So when they postpone, when they delay, so they granted me a delay because I cannot be there in January, but what they did is they postponed it to 6 months later. So they had me set up for a date in late July. Okay, so again, I'm a planner, I'm organized, I know where I'm going to be in late July, and it's not in Florida, folks. It's not in Florida. It's going to be somewhere in the Northeast. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to work either. So I followed up on the email. I said, is it possible to change those dates? I'm going to be in Florida in, early part of March to the end of April. And yeah, I would have to drive some distance, but I could I could serve my time, my jury duty during that space of time. The clerk got back to me, gave me 4 dates that they had available in March and April. One of those dates, I was going to be in Tallahassee, which is about 2 hours and 15 minutes away from Crestview, which is most likely the location of where I would be serving jury duty. So I opted for that date and thanked her for being so accommodating. So the jury service, generally, everything is very computerized these days. It is really, though, a matter of the local court as to how much discretion they are going to give you. So you might be able to delay or cancel out of one. Eventually, you're going to be called to serve jury duty. And in Okaloosa County, they are used to working with RVers. And but still, she was very accommodating to my request, so I'm very, very thankful for that. So go ahead, you get called for jury duty. If you're somewhere else, you're in another state, check your schedules, see if there's a place or time when it's going to be convenient for you. Connect with the clerk, be very kind. These folks are working hard. And people get slammed for working in the justice system these days. They're working hard. They're working for you, and hopefully they can accommodate you. Question that's going to get asked: what if I just ignore it? What if I don't show up? That's not a good idea. So what happens if you do not show up? You don't contact them. You don't have an excuse. The court can issue a contempt order against you, an order of contempt, and that they can also fine you $100. So the contempt order is going to result, if you don't follow through on that contempt order, yeah, they could come and arrest you. But you're going to have an order to show cause. That means you physically have to show up for a hearing. And at that hearing, you've got to explain to the judge why you didn't show up for jury service, what was going on. Now, the judge then can decide your fate. Maybe they give you another jury date. Maybe they give you community service. Maybe they give you some jail time. Maybe they give you a fine. So rather than deal with those consequences, if you can work in advance, if you get the jury notice and you can't show up, kindly explain, why you can't show up, that you're in another state. Say, look, I can't, I'm happy to serve in the jury, but can you possibly accommodate these dates? So that worked out very well for me, and do not ignore a summons, a jury summons. Okay, that is don't ignore that. Okay. All right, so those are my tips. What happens if you get called for jury duty? Do your civic duty. Do the best you can do. And hey, you know, this is part of the juggling that we have to do as full-time RVers. All right, I will see you guys next time. Hope you are doing great, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.